Hello, my name is Jade Dean and I am presenting on the sustainability practices in the electronics industry. I decided to choose this topic from my project because I use a lot of electronic devices for work and also for leisure, and I wanted to know and understand the practices that are going on within certain companies. But first, let's take a look at the culture of electronics. In 2009, Americans owned 24 electronic products per household, and about 5 million tons of electronics were in storage, and only 25% of these tons were collected for recycling. Recently, Time magazine did a study on how people feel in related to technology and if they liked being constantly connected. Most Americans, as seen by the outer blue circle, felt that technology was pretty helpful. Very few thought it was a burden, frankly, and that just shows how connected we are. Here's some more statistics from that same study. I found this one fascinating. Almost every adult in the United States carries a mobile phone. 3/4 of 25 to 29-year-olds sleep with their phones. And about 4 in 10 Americans think mobility has helped them achieve a better work-life balance. But as we've learned from this class, there are trade-offs with everything. So I've decided to examine 3 companies as case studies: Apple, HP, and Samsung. I chose these companies because of their size. These are all international corporations that have factories in small villages throughout the world, in addition to large stores, as seen with Apple, almost all around the world. Let's take a look at Apple first. Their sustainable practices started in 1990 when they first implemented their environmental policy. In 1992, they became a founding member of the U.S. EPA Energy Star program. In 2005, they released their Apple Supplier Code of Conduct. The Apple Supplier Code of Conduct is a series of standards that assure workplace and worker safety and health, ethics, and the environmental impacts of their products. In 2009, Apple was one of the first companies to release a life cycle analysis of products. What's really neat about their website is that you can go and figure out exactly what the carbon footprint of the new iPad is, or exactly how many and what types of materials go into making an iPhone. And in 2011, they made their iTunes gift cards out of 100% recyclable paper. And on the right hand side, you'll see that there is a list of toxic materials removed, and that has been an ongoing process by the company. So now almost all of their products are lead free, BFR free, PVC free, mercury free, and arsenic free glass. These are some graphs and charts I found on their website. Over time, you'll see on the right there has been an immense reduction in carbon emissions. If you look at the 2007 Apple TV versus the 2011 Apple TV, there's been 90% reduction in CO2 emissions. And you can also see how these products compare to a standard light bulb, which I find very fascinating. And then also Apple is very good about recycling their products, so you can see from their start of their recycling program in 2007, they are getting about 70% of their products back. On to HP. They have been ranked one of the top global electronic companies in the world by Newsweek, Interbrand, Greenpeace, and a few other organizations. They are really about having a positive impact and maintaining a cradle-to-cradle type of cycle with their products. One of the ways they do this is through their closed-loop ink cartridge recycling, where you can bring in your old ink cartridge and they'll recycle it, and it reduces the carbon emissions by about 33% for that ink cartridge. As opposed to other companies like Apple and Samsung, which we'll see in a minute, they actually set yearly goals for their sustainability. That way, if technologies improve, or if they found a better method of producing something, they're able to adapt at a quicker pace. If you want to explore their energy chain more, they have this chart available on their website. Samsung's approach to sustainability is slightly different. As you can see on the graph, they have actually come up with a climate change response strategy, and this is their eco-management goals for the year 2013, so next year. Some of their other sustainable practices are avoiding conflict minerals, making sure that the raw materials that they're using in their products come from conflict-free zones such as the Democratic Republic of the Congo. They also engage in water recycling at its facility. Samsung also manufactures semiconductors, which can use up to 7,000 to 15,000 gallons of water a day. So it's very important to retain some of that for cost and also for the environmental impacts. As you can see on the chart on the right, their water recycling rate is over almost 75% in Korea and in their global companies. In 1995, they adopted the LCA method, and they created their first sustainability report in the year 2000. And similar to Apple, you notice that there's a prevalence of recycling paper for use, and in this case it's for packaging. There's some common themes within these three companies, aside from the fact that they all make electronics. One is that they have been able to eliminate toxic chemicals from their products. They've provided support for people in manufacturing zones like worker education, healthcare, and other resources. They monitor work and labor conditions domestically and abroad by performing audits that are scheduled and also audits that are not. They have very strong recycling products, and what's very interesting is on each of their websites they have a section that is either called Global Citizen, Environment, or Sustainability. And as we've seen in class, these principles of sustainability have become an excellent marketing tool. And it also helps with corporate transparency and gives them more responsibility. Also, these plans, regardless of the company, have hit on the 3 E's: the economics, the equity, and the environment. Each one has evaluated the cost-benefit analysis for these types of programs, how the workers will be treated, and then also what are the overarching impacts to the environment. In conclusion, the electronics industry has recognized the need for corporate responsibility and transparency. And also what is interesting is that since these are international corporations, you really need to use the systems thinking in order to apply these principles. And lastly, the industry continues to innovate company practices within the scope of sustainability, whether it's water recycling, green roofs, alternative energies for production. There's a lot going on in this field. And as a consumer, we should be invested to see how far these companies have come and also where they're going. Thank you.